welcome back to the Spinny Bug. I'm so glad that you are checking in today, and I'm going to show you a new crochet trick that I learned from my grandmother when I was 7 years old, and that was a very long time ago, over 45 years ago. I'm not going to tell you my exact age, but it was more than that. And today I'm going to show, I'm making, it's called Hugs and Kisses. It's a bag or a tote. I'm making this tote to carry my yarn in on the go. And so this pattern is called Hugs and Kisses. It's free on YouTube, or there's a written pattern on Yarn Inspirations. If you want to look it up, it's a real super easy pattern. I would suggest it to be either beginner or intermediate, depending on how much you know your stitches well. You are doing single crochets, double crochets, double crochet back crosses, which makes the X's. You are doing popcorn stitches and just a few other fun stuff. And so what I'm going to show you today is a lot of people have issues with when they have to work like back double post, you know, because you have your front post and you have your back post, and the back just means that you're working from the back instead of the front. And there's a couple patterns like the wavy blanket and this Hugs and Kisses to where you have to work on the back loop, where you have to actually take your hook and hit the stitch from the back and then crochet that way. Well, a lot of people struggle with that, so I'm going to teach you a trick that my grandma taught me, and I hope this helps you. The yarn that I'm using right now has been hand dyed by Melissa's Yarn Barn. She sells Shineko. I don't even know the pronunciation, but this is 100% wool, and I hand spun this yarn, and it's my own hand spun yarn, and I'm very excited about it because I fractal spun it. And so it kind of gives us kind of dual pole looking dual colors, and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's super soft. This is my go-to yarn for wool. Another thing that I would like to show you and give you information about is that there are two different type of hooks. One is called the Boyds, and then there are other hooks out there with different name brands, and those are called taper hooks. And then there's Susan Bates, which they are all inline hooks. So depending on how you hold your hook will also depend on what kind of hook you need. Now, I've been using Boyds my whole life, ever since I was 7 years old. That's what I learned of. I just started using Susan Bates just a couple years ago. And, you know, so it depends on how you hold your hook. Some people hold it like this. Other people hold it underneath like a pencil. And then some people grab on and hold it really close to the tip, and there's other ways that people hold it really weird, you know, like up in front, and there's other ways. But depending on how you hold your pin or your crochet hook will depend on what kind of hook to use and what is best for you. If you find out that your hook, that your crochet, it's not working for you because you're snagging it, because it snags, or you drop stitches, or the hooks just doesn't seem to pick up the threads because you're dropping them, or you're missing stitches and you're just not getting it, and you're giving up on crochet just because you think that, you know, you're doing something wrong, I'm here to tell you that it is not you. It is the hook that you are using. And so this is Susan Bates right here. As you see, it has a more slanter of a neck. The head of the hook is more sharp base, plus it's more deeper. The Boyds is more straight on. It's less as far as the slant, and it is less as far as the deep of the crook of the base. It doesn't have, it's more rounded for the head. So a lot of people like Boyd hooks, especially if you are like most people like Boyd hooks if you are more of a fast crocheter, if you crochet really, really fast, or hold it like a pencil. I hold my crochet hook like this, and so the Susan Bates work best for me. So you could get Susan Bates either on Amazon or through Joann's. Michael's also sells them as well, and they also sell other Clovers. Clovers are tapered base. Susan Bates are inline. But I just wanted to bring that up because it does make a difference on the crochet, and also it depends on the type of project. If I'm doing a project, especially like with origamis or or projects that require lacing more type subjects, I'm gonna tend to use more of the voids. If I'm doing my basic crocheting that I do every day and projects like this to where I have to do front and back posts or back post stitches, I'm going to be using my inlines with my Susan Bates. But I find that the Susan Bates works best for me for all around. I like their handles. A lot of people have more ergonomic handles. There are also less brands that are no-name brands which have better handles. You could get lighting up ones for black yarn. You know, just find out what works out best for you. So let's get on to the basics of this stitch that I'm going to show you, this cross stitch back post stitch. And so basically how this works is that you're going to skip one and then put your double crochet into the next hook. I'm looking through the screen, not at my projects, because I want this up close to the cameras. I'm not a YouTuber at all, and I apologize. So as you go back, you would normally take your hook and twist it upside down. I find that really hard on my wrists, and I hate it with a passion. I never used to do patterns that called for back post anything because I hated tipping my hook upside down, and a lot of people will drop their stitches because of that. What I have done is you will wrap it around like usual, but instead of twisting your hook upside down, all you need to do is twist your work. Just twist your work. Use this thumb to help push out the stitch just a little bit, so you have your, and if you have to hold on to this string as you're doing this, because you want it to go underneath, not on top. If you go on top, you're going to lose your double stitch. You're able to pick, so sometimes if you hold on to your thumb with this, you could go under. If you go like this and under, you're going to lose your double stitch. So sometimes I will grab this just to kind of hold it in place. This is a stitch that I need to go to. Turn your wrist. All I'm doing is turning my thumb and using my thumb to hold the stitch that it needs to go to. Your hook will know where to go. And then so you come through, you'll grab, and grab. And then there's your back stitch. And this will go from the back, like if you were doing back post too. I'll hold it for this. My thumb will stick it out, and then you could do your back post that you need to do. Your hook will know where to go. It's the weirdest thing, but after a while, your hook will just go in the holes, and it's really fun. So let's do this again. So we skip one, you go to the next set. Sometimes you're skipping two, whether you're doing treble or double, and the treble is the same way. When you're doing treble stitches or double stitches, I treat it the same way. Wrap it around for this. I will just hold this on. Instead of tipping my hook upside down, all I'm doing is moving my fingers. And as you're moving your fingers, it's already on the stitch that you need to go to, so you know where to go because your thumb is just right there. See, and the hook just automatically went there without me even looking at it. So and then you could do your double stitch, and then there is your cross. And again, this is and you could always tell which hole is next, because a lot of times the last stitch, oh well, this is a space. No, it's not. If there's a leg from this last stitch going into that space is taken. That don't count. It's used up. So there's your space. That's where my thumb will go. And I hope this will help you. Okay, so there's my two. Okay, so my thumb automatically goes to the space that it needs to go to. And I just turn my work. And I'll wrap it around, hold it, and my thumb is just right there. And I just turn my work. That way you are still holding the hook in the same direction. So you're not going like this and twisting your hands upside down. You're not twisting your hook upside down, because that's what gives you carpal tunnel. And you're still keeping your hook the same direction as you do it, but you're just all it is the twist of your middle finger. This is how I hold my yarn. And I don't do anything fancy, but I use my middle finger or thumb to turn. So I know that my hole needs to go here. All I do is turn here. So that way you're keeping your hook, and your hook just stays in the same direction that it needs to go to. And it makes, you know, and your hook just stays in the same direction that it needs to. So, and then you could use your thumb to kind of push this down a little bit if you have to. There's no wrong or right way. There is no crochet police. There's no yarn police. There's no wrong or right way. What crochet or knitting is you just need to find your own way and your own thing, and whatever works best for you. What, you know, the tutorials that are online, you know, they show you how to do the pattern, but everything else, it's just learning on, you know, it's just a learning curve on. See, I'm paying attention to the screen. Okay. So you can see the difference by turning it and when you're not, and by going over, you drop the stitch, and when you go under, you capture it. So thank you for watching, and I hope this has helped, and I hope you enjoy the pattern, and look up this fun pattern. I haven't gotten to the second popcorn stitch yet, but I just wanted to show a couple people have asked on how I take care of these X's and O's, these X's and back post stitches. Thank you.